Hello, got another animation here from Toby Dart. Just gonna have a little playthrough. Cool. So I chose this one because I thought it was pretty much there. It works quite nicely. The timing is quite nice and the poses are quite strong. I just thought there was a few things we could maybe polish up and a couple of bits that could do with a bit of a rework just to make the body mechanics sing a bit more. So in terms of posing, I do like what's going on with the hips. I think you could get a little more in the chest just to get that nice C. And then this should actually help to break up the arms that you have right now. They feel a little T-pose right now, just in that very first pose. I think this could potentially be pushed. Could perhaps have a hips more over here, so there's a bit more of a line of action. Gives you a bit more room to have this sword do its thing. I feel like the line of action could be pushed a bit more to, she's doing this really cool thing, and I think you could echo that through the body as well. So I think my issue with this part is that she's basically anticing up with her foot to do this big step over. So I think the foot is a bit too delayed for the movement that you've got. You kind of want to get over into this big antic pose and then have her foot anticing up through here. I think this should read as much more clearer pose because through here it's messed up. You're trying to lead with the chest, but then the foot is risen off the ground here. So we're totally off balance and her weight is way over here. So she would just fall from this point. Whereas over here, her head space doesn't have to be too different from what we have now, but I think it can be a little. Yeah, hold this a little longer. Through here, I think you really want to plant this foot sooner so that by the time she's here, at least, this is kind of clearly planted. I know that you want the kind of lean in the chest to lead this motion, which I think is a little tricky because you're anticing up with the foot. I think it's tricky because there's kind of mixed ideas here. You could do this lead with the chest if this foot was already in its final position. If through here, this foot is planted, then none of this is an issue because she's still fairly balanced. We can do this or we can do this and get everything working quite nicely. But the fact that we raise her foot makes that what is then going to stamp down. And I do think that the foot has to be raised over here because if we raise it through this motion, then all of the weight that she has planted on the ground should be through that foot. So there's no physical way that that foot could be in the air. So I think it's just deciding what you want to lead here. I think for simplicity, let's say that we're going to lead with that stomp down. So I think something like this would be more successful with having that big foot raise in there. She's going to hit that foot down. Through here, I would have a reversal here, settling up into something more like this. And then of course she can settle down into this more bent over pose, which is cool. Let's just take a look at this pose as well. I think there's a few things we could change about the flow. I think there's a nice line through here which could be accentuated. So maybe I think what we're wanting is this chest a bit more like that, the hips a bit more like that. Maybe even you want to push this knee out slightly just to get a little bit less of a straight line. Having this chest this way and these hips this way is going to give you that nice C through there. And then it will be much of what you have already, really. I think maybe you could have a bit more flow through the arms here just to push it even more. Probably have this a little lower down. This final drawing means that probably wants to be coming up somewhere over here. So there's a bit more here. If we flick through the... I'm just looking at the head space here, so head kind of comes from like up here, will arc through here, and then come up into this and settle like here. So we've kind of got this one arc through it instead of having this come here and then hit here and then go back. So I think something more in here will make sense if we get that big foot plant there. And I think it will definitely be really nice to get this kind of twist in here. So you've got the drag. Really want to see both of those limbs. That's her back, just to be clear. So cool. I guess a couple of more detailed things. I noticed there was a bit of a isolated hip movement here, right through here. I'd just make sure that we're kind of resolving that a bit sooner, so it's kind of coming to an ease through here rather than stopping and then doing a move on its own. It's kind of going to happen right as she plants with the rest of her pose. You just don't want things feeling too isolated when other things aren't moving. I do think we could be maybe a little clearer with this. Kind of really get that reversal through the spine when she grabs it. Yeah, a little more stick 'em up, you know, it's Woody here. And then coming into this pose that we have. So we go start pose, antic down for that, and then we bring it finally into this pose. So we got a nice reversal to this pose. I think in terms of posing here as well, you really want to make sure that every frame you do, especially if it's something like this where the focus is kind of here right now, you really want to make sure that we're getting a clear read on as much as we can. So, you know, something a little more like this, so we get all of the elements of the arm in there. So we kind of see this break through here, and then we see break, and then we see the hand as well. And probably have that like somewhere out here. Not the best drawing, but I hope that makes sense. Just here, it feels like if we stop this on a frame, she could, for all we know, only have an upper arm and no forearm and fist. I guess just bear that in mind with all of the poses through here. And a similar thing with her back arm as well. I think we want a bit more twist in here, so we kind of see a bit of her back and then kind of get nice flow through here. So maybe want to see some of this and get that sort of fist in there. Obviously, this is a little extreme. But yeah, thanks very much for sending your work in. It was very fun to look through and try and figure things out. But yeah, thanks very much.